Okay, so I'm recording this on the mini phone, and before this goes dead, basically, this girl who thinks I'm like somewhere from 10 to 12, I'm actually older than she is. She works at this place, and I was there, and I was drinking a frappe, and the police had came up to me. And so then, to make a long story short, they claim, I noticed that people like to gaslight and lie when it comes down to the doctors and the police. And so they told me, asked me if somebody reported me, because I really didn't understand why they were bothering me. Because people my age and younger walk around and do stuff here a lot. And so basically, what was it? I was trying to get where there's no one really at to make this, but I haven't told anybody I'm gonna run away. But the girl ended up telling them that supposedly anyway, or at least I think it was her, because they wouldn't tell me who. I don't know her name anyway. At least I don't remember it. And so she had, then they claimed they had me on video telling somebody I was running away. That's not true, because I haven't told anybody that, which is really, it was just really weird, the lies. But to make a long story short, eventually they told me that I was free to go. But then after that, when I walked away, they secretly were following me, almost hit me, and then popped up out of nowhere talking about how I was putting myself in danger by almost getting hit while crossing the street, because they almost hit me. So they secretly following me after telling me I was free to go. So they were trying to like do this weird little setup thing. And then I had to call one of the two people, which she did say I wasn't with my parents, but they didn't even care about that, and they just let that go over their head. So if that's the case, they didn't care in the first place. But it's a good thing they didn't ask a whole bunch of questions when she said I wasn't with my parents. Luckily, because I could have went really left. Because of course, I wouldn't want anybody to get accused of anything or blamed for anything. As if I'm like, because I already know, I mean, from how my parents lie on me, even other people in the past have said if they'll tell all those lies on you and make you look bad and crazy, I can't imagine how they'll make me look if I was to try to help. So I wouldn't even really want somebody putting themselves in the predicament. So luckily, she did say I wasn't with my parents and that we weren't related, and they just didn't care about that. So it really just seems like, I don't even know what in the world. It was a really weird situation, because I never told somebody I was running away. But oh well. And that's one of the annoying things about it. And then, of course, since she doesn't believe that I am the age I actually am, which is still really annoying, she told them I was 16, even though I turned 18 in 5 months. And that could cause a lot of issues, because if she would have told them I was 17, maybe they would have left me alone next time. But I'd probably just try to stay away from there, because that was way too risky. Especially since whatever staff member, which I think I know, because there's the other girl I talked to. I asked her if she worked in the food department and if they get employee discounts or something, which I don't think they do. And she said no, but this is my first time talking to her. The other girl I've talked to another time before, and like I said, she's 16, but of course due to the whole severely underweight thing and a lot of other stuff, she thinks I'm 11 to 12, even though I'm older than she is, and it's really, really annoying. And the thing is, she's about, I would say she's like the same size as me, but she's shorter here. So, like, because I remember I'm underweight for my age and my height. Although she probably does weigh at least like 100 pounds. But yeah, so I think I know what else I had to say about this. None of them seem to have any cameras on them, which is a good thing, because I wouldn't want them to like be able to go back and look at something and then look my face up in a database or whatever. But they really did try to set me up though, and then trying to use the fact that I almost got hit by them after the fact as proof that I don't need to be going to the boardwalk by myself like a lot of people do. I still wonder why in the world though. Why would she even tell them that I saw her run away when I never said that? That means that was her own assumption. And then the age thing is still really, really annoying. I really don't like that. It's like, regardless of how I may look, I'm years older than most of the people that work there. And hopefully I'll be able to edit this together. But of course, when she said I was 16, I didn't want to like correct her because it's gonna look weird. Because I mean, even when I was in school for those 5 months at MTZ High, a lot of the staff members thought it was weird that when my sister come to pick me up, she didn't even know how to spell my name and stuff like that. So, if it's a red flag, I mean, of course it's gonna be a red flag. My actual relatives didn't even know how old I was, but like, I already knew that if I would have said anything, for one, it would have made things look worse, and two, what was the other thing I was gonna say? And I mean, if she doesn't believe it, she's just gonna have a disbelief look, then they're gonna have a look, and it's just gonna make things worse. That's so crazy though. All over the frappe. All over Oreo frappe. Then the fact that they had the nerve to say that they caught me on video telling somebody that. I hate how doctors and police, they just, authority figures or whatever in the world, they lie and gaslight so much to where it's really just unbelievable. Because that little lie right there that they had me on video telling somebody something that I've never told anybody is like, it just reminds me of some of the little gaslight and bullcrap the doctors used to do in the limelight of the Munchausen situation, when everybody was trying to gaslight me into thinking that everything was just all in my head back in NC. Because those doctors were so about the money, not to mention that they were racist and stuff. But honestly, one of the ones that did the most gaslighting was I forgot what it's called, but the doctor for the bowel appointments, when the pills were turning my bowels off, because that's one of the common side effects. And that was honestly some of the most gaslighting I had went through in the Munchausen situation, when I almost died from the bowel impaction. Everybody kept trying to find different ways to blame me and make me feel guilty and bad because I was constipated. It was just a really weird situation. Now I can say that my most traumatic experience revolves around constipation, which just sounds weird. But I'm trying to think, because this is on 40. And honestly, for this to be a mini phone, it sure lasted longer than the real ones. This cameras and all that. But I was starting to have a panic attack, but I was trying to stay calm. Because of course I get in the fight or flight freeze, and I definitely wasn't thinking freeze. I was thinking either jump over the fence. Well, it wasn't really a fence. There was little gate things. Or what was the other thing? And then I was thinking about, I already know not to do the pepper spray, but it was just a thought that popped up because I was getting really scared, but that would just make things worse because they already were trying to find a reason to arrest me, and they were being weird because I still can't get over how they really told me I was free to go and then secretly followed me, then almost hit me, then blamed me because they almost hit me. And I was like, they were like, you almost got hit by a car, and it was a police car. It was you guys that almost hit me. And then it was stupid. And I really worry now, so because I don't want to be on anybody's radar. I'm hoping that they didn't have any cameras on them that I just couldn't see, but I didn't see any though. Because usually when it comes down to police cameras, they're visible. They're like on their chest or on this thing around, I think it's around their neck. No, on their chest or on their glasses, something like that. Can't even really remember. But that was definitely a close one. And the girl was like, I could call my lawyer parents. Honestly, that still was stupid though. They really had a whole SWAT team. Like I just killed somebody or something. And honestly, it's so weird. In a state where everybody's in agreement with the pedophilia, nobody speaks out against it, but yet they want to talk about how dangerous it is out here. Trust me, I knew that. That's one of the reasons I really would have never wanted to come here a day in my life, because I had already researched the whole sex trafficking thing and stuff ever since I was like 6, 7. But I ended up here. And, well, that's the kind of irrelevant. It's really weird how they'll come to me trying to make up an excuse to arrest me by telling me about how dangerous this place is, as if there aren't 7 and 10-year-olds walking around there too, who ride their bikes there from their house. Because I was honestly amazed by how people really just let their 7 and 10-year-olds and stuff walk around here and ride their bikes around here, like the whole sex trafficking thing isn't extremely popular here. And it's honestly weird to me for them to talk about how dangerous it is, but I want to admit that it's dangerous because nobody speaks against it and everybody here is in agreement with it. Not saying anything is the same thing as agreeing. Because trust me, they don't have to tell me that. They need to tell themselves that, because just like the 2 people who've been doing stuff to help, like giving me food and stuff, others don't believe the sex trafficking thing either. In fact, the only people I've actually seen admit that it happened was 3 boys that were like 17. They were the only ones that seemed to know about it. Everybody else is dumbfounded, like they don't know what I'm talking about, or they do everything to deny it and talk about how great of a place this is. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, not to mention the other day when I was there, 3 dudes were getting naked. Well, they not getting naked. Well, I mean, they got naked and they were playing with each other and telling jokes and making sexual jokes in whatever language they were speaking though. And they were really just getting naked in front of babies. I was sitting, they were in front of me, so I was behind them, so I could see them. There was a baby sitting beside me, another baby, well, no, the baby was beside them, another baby was on the side of them, and they were just, not just babies, but I mean other people, period, all around them. And the police don't do anything about that, but they're about to arrest me. This is really, I mean, it's been known as being a really messed up and perverted place, but they're policing and worrying about the wrong things, the complete wrong things. Just like with the whole ID thing that happened when the bus tried to leave me stranded in Los Angeles. Crap, I'm not supposed to say where. The bus that left me stranded, not even tried, he did, because he didn't believe I was 17 plus. And it's like, you guys are worried about an ID, which, that's not even the only thing. The other thing is I am 17 plus. But you guys are worried about an ID, yet you let guys go in the women's bathroom and use the bathroom with the door open. It's like, everybody's worried about the wrong stuff here. And you think that's a good place to leave somebody stranded? But that's the thing now. people here are just so, I mean, I could say that about anywhere in the US, but it's like here, especially with the stuff that goes on here and that's promoted, it's really, really funny that they're worried about other stuff. Like, you guys are talking about some 18 plus. I mean, well, the thing is, if they are saying that, well, no. I can't even find a way to make it make sense, to be honest. Because it's like there's so many people that are obviously younger than me, because, like I said and say all the time, people think I'm 11 or 12. So even if I look 11 or 12, I obviously can be told apart from the people who are 7 walking around. If this is making sense, because I'm basically trying to say there's people who are visibly way younger than even the age they think I am that are walking around there by themselves or with their friends who are also 7 and 10 and whatever, and they don't say anything to them. That's really the point I'm trying to make. So I really just think that the whole situation is pretty weird, although of course they did eventually admit that they were lying when they said I wasn't reported, which I knew I had to have been reported because it just wasn't making sense why police were swarming around me. And it's still so annoying though, because I never told that girl that. I don't even know if I probably did tell her, but then I tell everybody, I think. And the most annoying thing about it is all of it goes based off of assumption. But the thing is, they were saying that they think I'm 15, because he was like, you're hiding your size, and I have a relative who's 15, and that's how I know you're 15. I mean, I'm glad that more people are starting to guess 14 and 15, because there was a point in time, which I mean, it still happens most of the time now, but there was a point in time where people never would guess that I'm any higher than 12 or 13, because I even remember when I was in school for 5 months, at MTZ High, these kids were just talking about me for whatever reason, and they were like, she's definitely like 11 or 12, but she can't be any higher than 13, and that was I already had got held back because my dad wouldn't let me go to school the first year, so at that time I was like 15, although some people still do guess 10, and it's like, I know for a fact I don't look 10. I'm pretty sure that if I was to walk in the 5th grade classroom, people would probably call the police or something. I highly doubt that I look 10. And then actually 11's 5th grade too. Yeah, because I know when I was in 5th grade I was 10 to 11. 12 to 13 is like 6th grade. I mean, when I was in 5th grade, there were people who were definitely taller than I am now, I think. But I just don't think I look 10. I mean, it's like, do I really look the age that people say I do? But then again, I mean, most 12-year-olds are bigger than me, so I don't know. It's just really annoying. It's just like, so once I actually am 18, I'm still going to be at risk of going through hell and brimstone because people think that I'm younger than I actually am. Dang, I almost fell. The whole situation is just so annoying. And it's like, the more I get into these age situations, it just shows that the doctors really were trash. Because if I'm really that severely underweight to where I have to almost go to jail trying to prove my age to people, then something really should have been done. And I think if I can't sue for anything else when it comes down to the whole abuse situation, I should at least be able to sue for the fact that I was severely underweight and the doctors didn't do jack. So I remember that if I can't sue for anything else, sue for that. That's still trifling as heck though. But I definitely know what's that from, because now to think about it, I definitely only have talked to 2. One of them, the first time I talked to her was today. And she thought that I was lost or whatever. I don't know, I guess because, I mean, maybe I looked lost. That's the one I was asking about, the employee discount thing. That's the bad thing, though. People think that, like, when you leave an abuse situation underage, what you have to worry about is crimes and getting kidnapped. I mean, you definitely have to worry about that here. But I would say that's that. But I mean, if you know enough about that stuff, I know you can't always do everything to avoid stuff, and you can only do what you can do, but if you know enough, you could probably avoid that, especially depending on where you live. But I feel like what you have to worry about more is what I call the let me help you lunatics. And people like that staff member who said that I told her I was a runaway, even though I never told her that. And the first time I asked her for her Lunchable. The second time, what was the second? What did I say? In fact, no, the second time I seen her, that was the same day as the first time. Because I went back down there. I don't even remember why. And the second time was today, I think. And I just asked her if she could give me a burger. And that's still weird though, because she always assumed I was 10 to 12. And if she told them what age she thought I was, and then they say 15. I don't know. I still don't think I look 10. I just feel like that's really, really off. Honestly, I think I looked a little, well, depending on who I live with, I looked a little bigger then. Because then I look back at some pictures from when I definitely had to have been like 11, and I looked bigger then. So, I mean, what point was I trying to make? Hold up. I still think I look younger in the face. I don't know. I just feel like definitely if the weight issue is that bad, I guess I've really been in denial about it. I just try to see otherwise, because I definitely have admitted that, especially when the whole weight drop down thing started, I definitely didn't see it as bad as it actually was, because I remember when my old abusive friend Addie got back into the picture, and then that fake girl that I'll call Jay, I guess. I remember when I was just trying to show them my afro because I was finally allowed to go natural, and that was at Annabelle just flew into my face. I was at 14. They didn't even really notice that. They were so busy telling me that I needed to eat more and asking what in the world happened, because I was most likely bigger the last time they had seen me. Well, the last time Jay had seen me, I was like 10. Although we did see each other at the fair. That was when I was 14. She probably didn't pay attention that much. And then my old abusive friend Addie, the last time she seen me was when I was 12, but I lived with my grandma, so before I went back with my mom, so I probably was bigger then. Because even before the metabolic syndrome thing, I was 98 pounds or a little bigger before I moved back in with my mom. Because I think when I moved back in with her, due to the food situation and all that, I'm pretty sure I dropped down in weight. So I was always way too underweight to be getting drugged up as much as I was in the whole get-go. With the metabolic syndrome weight, I don't even think I'm going the right way. I did not want to get back here, and it's this dark. But I hate that though. I really asked if I got reported, and they said no, and they were just trying to quote-unquote check on me, and then eventually another one admitted it. And that's really it's just so annoying though. It's like, why do authority figures always have to lie and gaslight? Why can't they ever be truthful about anything? That was as bad as the doctors. Just like, these people, when they go to their trainings, they're definitely trained to lie and gaslight. Somebody actually said that once that was in school for being a doctor. They said that they get taught to gaslight and lie and try to make the quote-unquote patient or whatever feel like they don't know what they're talking about. Or like beating around the bush too. Because I know doctors would do that a lot. And it's just so annoying. I'm probably going to be thinking about that till tomorrow. Because it's really triggering. I don't even think I'm going the right way. Because I can't see Jack. Really. That's why I do not like to get back here at night. And I always get back while the sun is still up. At least while I can still see. Because I already get lost when it's not dark. And then man, that was so annoying. If only she would believe my actual age, because I really think that if she would have just told them I was 17, if they were to just so happen to see me again, maybe they would harass me less. But I really hope they don't, though, because I definitely have the same stuff on, and that's probably going to be a red flag. I don't know, the rent's so much here. People, it seems like they want people to have no choice but to wear the same clothes every day. And I'm trying to think about what else I had to say about this. You already know I'm stuck here the last 5-6 months because after the whole bus leaving me stranded thing, because he didn't believe I'm 17 plus, I don't think they would even let me out of the state. And it's so weird though, because they wouldn't act like they care so much about the whole ID thing and all that. If that was the case, sex trafficking wouldn't be the way it is. And I know that like rich people get to do whatever they want, but also people who are getting trafficked aren't necessarily always with their trafficker. Because I mean, like my ex, who was trafficked by his mafia family, he had to get on the airplanes and stuff by himself sometimes. So, and that was even when he was way underage. He had to do a whole bunch of crazy stuff. He was forced to. And it's like, they don't ask in the situation where they actually should be asking. I say that because I mean, you claim you care, but yet people are able to just traffic kids through the buses and planes and stuff all around the U.S. and even to other countries, because he went to places in Europe and stuff when his family was trafficking him. So it seems like, I mean, for one, definitely like someone told me, because of my bright colors, I'm easily noticeable. So that's gonna also make me get questioned more. This is stuff like this is why I really do wish I looked my age though, because if I did, a lot of things would probably be easier. Oh no, I gotta hope that a spider doesn't jump on my face or something. I hate this. Ow. I'm getting stabbed by sticks.